Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2021 general readings. We are looking at the first half of January from the 1st to the 15th. Welcome everyone, the first general readings of a brand new year. Hopefully a better year for everyone because 2020 was a funny old ride, wasn't it? I am recording these in the last 2 days of December, so I can still wish you a very happy new year. I hope everyone had a very nice Christmas. So this reading is for the fire sign of Aries, our lovely Rams, for the first 2 weeks of January 2021. That's Aries sun, moon, rising. If your Venus is in Aries, or if you are cross-watching for Aries, it's all relevant. But because it's a general reading, of course, it's going to resonate a little differently. So watch all of your signs if you know them, if you can, for additional insight and perspective. If you find that any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading for yourself, or perhaps as a gift for someone, you can click on the description link below. You'll see my email address there, maggie1maguire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me directly. I can usually respond the same day. I do offer a wide variety of readings. And particularly popular right now are the overviews I do, 6 months or 12 months, to give us kind of a sneak peek ahead at what's coming in different areas of our lives, something to keep in mind. But I do offer a wide variety of other types of readings as well. And as I do readings full-time, I'm pretty diligent about scheduling, my scheduling, to get personal readings set up as quickly as possible. So email me if you're interested. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today, for hitting that like button and that subscribe button, and for all that you do. Your support, feedback, and comments, welcome and appreciated. Thank you. Okay, Aries. Let's see what the first 2 weeks of January have in store for you. I am using Legacy of the Divine Tarot, clarifying with the Gilded Tarot Royale. Okay, Aries. We begin with the Page of Coins, followed by the Sun, we have the Five of Cups, followed by the Three of Cups, the Eight of Cups, followed by the Six of Coins, and from the bottom of the deck, the overall energy for the first half of January is the Seven of Swords. Aries, it feels like, in terms of the perspective of this reading, either, because what I'm getting here is regret over past behavior and kind of a redemptive process, even though you may not be talking about it directly. It's either you going through this or somebody who has maybe treated you wrongly and feeling regret from this and trying to figure out how to fix it or change behavior patterns, even though perhaps they're not talking about it. And the reason I say that is because the overall energy for the first 2 weeks of January is the Seven of Swords, which I fondly refer to as the sneaky thief card. But he sometimes gets a bad rap because what this card fundamentally represents is someone who has something they want to gain, acquire, achieve, accomplish. There's a goal. And in order to achieve the thing, get the thing, accomplish the thing, you have to be strategic, secretive, conceal things, not talk about things, hold your cards close to your chest. That can be positive or negative. It can represent actual deception in a negative way, theft, exploitation. You know, it's a very self-oriented card. It's a self-serving card, meaning you're going to do whatever you have to do in order to do or get or accomplish the thing. But you're going to be very kind of maybe secretive or circumspect about doing that because that's what you feel you have to do in order to get what you want. Again, that can be positive or negative. If you're not harming yourself or anybody else, you know, you're not building any karmic debt. And everybody kind of, you know, does things secretly or circumspect, or they're trying to get, you know, an advantage in situations. The interesting thing is that the three cards on the top row of this spread, you know, we have the Page of Coins here. Pages are usually just starting off. They're apprentices, students, kind of introductory, starting off on a path. They're in the process of learning and trying to apply what they're learning to the path in front of them. The Page of Coins is the Page of Earth. So he's kind of at the beginning of a deeper understanding and awareness of what it's actually going to take to manifest the path that he's on or she's on. Underneath that is the Sun, which is an uplifting of restrictions, a loosening up of feeling so bogged down and responsible, light, love, warmth, laughter, illumination, clarity. And then we have so it's trying to figure out how to kind of accomplish that. And then we have the Five of Cups, which is a card basically of regret. She's in grief or loss over whatever these three goblets that are shattered on the ground used to contain. Now, there's still two glasses there, which represents not all is lost. There's still things that you have to be grateful for and to acknowledge, as long as you're not focusing too much on what the past is. Because this is a card about focusing basically on the past. The cautionary advice to this card is if you do that too much, you'll forget what's in your environment that you still have to be grateful for, or any opportunities which might be around you because you're too focused on whatever's been lost or bad decisions or things in the past. What accompanies that is the Three of Cups, which can be a fairly positive card. It's a highly social energy. It's a card about going off and having fun and partying and dancing and drinking and having a good time with kindred spirits or positive connections in your social community. But this clarifies the Five of Cups, so it's regret over that. Perhaps it's regret over being selfish. You know, only paying attention to pleasure or what feels good in the moment. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which represents leaving behind that which is not fulfilling. Turning your back on something. What clarifies that? The Six of Coins. Sometimes called the breadcrumb card because on the surface it can appear to be very philanthropic. It usually shows some version of some wealthy person who's weighing out all of their wealth and their coins, and they're periodically throwing them out the window to these waiting, grasping hands, which implies, you know, throwing the occasional coin to beggars or homeless people or whatever. But the thing is that the hands that are waiting to catch whatever is thrown usually aren't shown or depicted as being actual people. So this is a card that can represent, you know, somebody who gives only when it's convenient or only when they feel like it, you know, kind of breadcrumbing. Whether it's financial or emotional. So for some of you, this feels like a bit of a redemption path. It's like looking at perhaps past choices or patterns or behaviors you had that were fairly self-oriented and only what was easy, what was convenient, and maybe regretting that because it's cost you something, not everything, but something important to you, and there's a sense of regret over that. And you're really wanting to leave that behind. Now, for some of you, it might be that that's how you feel you were treated by someone, and you are making the decision to leave this person, this relationship, this job, this situation behind. Because it's not really all that fulfilling, and you want something that's really fulfilling, even though with the Seven of Swords, you might not be all that open about talking about it just yet. Now, maybe for a much smaller group of people, although I hope this doesn't actually resonate for anyone, this can represent that you might be going through something in a relationship or a job situation, and you're maybe not happy about it, and you're making plans to leave it behind, in order to go off and just focus on fun and convenience and, things that are very self-oriented. I hope that's not the case for just about anybody, because that's a very selfish, self-oriented sort of energy in a way that doesn't feel very pleasant. So yeah, for some of you, this is either you're being at the beginning of kind of understanding that perhaps some of your behaviors, your patterns have caused hurt, and you're seeing that now, and you're trying to figure out how to overcome that and how to change that and how to leave that behind. And for others of you, this is perhaps how you feel like you were treated within a relationship or a job situation, and you're making up your mind to actually, maybe you're making plans to leave that behind, even though you're not telling anyone about it right now. For example, if you're in a really unsatisfying job where you haven't been treated well, making plans to leave and go to another job or something more, or even going off on your own, but you're not talking about it because it might cause more chaos where you're at. It could be something like that. So let's clarify. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords. Oh, that jumped out pretty quickly. The World. So this is moving on in a final kind of way, because it's a card of major completion. It's the last major arcana card in the tarot, the first card being the Fool, and that's where the whole tarot journey starts, which is, journeys through life. And the last major arcana card, the World, where you're graduating. You're not going to go and repeat this again. It's like graduating from one grade to another grade and starting off on a brand new journey. But again, you're not talking about it, or you may not be revealing your plans about it. Let's clarify the World. One more card, please. The Six of Cups, a card primarily associated with things connected to the past or some kind of historical connection. It might go all the way back to childhood, like childhood friends, lovers, people you know, parents, roots of origin, where you grew up, going to a place where you feel, or being in that place or state of mind where you feel, like you did when a kid, free from worries and cares and concerns. And that's kind of an underlying theme here too, that again is kind of hidden because of that Seven of Swords. Maybe making plans to leave a person, place, situation behind so that you can go somewhere where you don't feel so constrained, and shut out and only having a little but not everything kind of energy. And again, for some of you, you're leaving what you're, it could be like a New Year's resolution type of thing too. What you're leaving behind is patterns of choice or behavior that you are learning that aren't working for you and that you regret because of what they've done. And so you're working on changing those things and leaving them behind. It could be, simply be that too. We're looking at a short period of time, just the first 2 weeks of January, and it's the first 2 weeks of a new year. So this could be like some New Year's resolutions. And of course, it's a general reading, so those resolutions could vary. I'm going to leave this relationship, this situation, this job, this way of looking at things and behaving, fundamentally because it doesn't work. It's ended up costing me too much, and it's left me with less than what I really wanted. And so I'm leaving that behind, whatever that is, towards something else. Because whatever side of the story you're on, Aries, whether you're taking a look at what you have been doing and wanting to change that, whether it's just habits or things like that that aren't associated with relationships, or whether it's associated with relationships, or whether it's patterns of choosing to be in relationships or situations or jobs which aren't working for you. It's about fundamentally making major changes to leave them behind, even though, again, you may not be talking about it, because there's a sense of some of this being hidden. Making plans, because you want to be in a place where you don't feel bogged down by all of this. Yeah, it does kind of, and it's an appropriate time of year too. It does have kind of a New Year's resolution. I'm going to stop this one thing and move on because it's not working for me. So I'm just going to pull one final card. Advice, guidance, food for thought from Spirit. Oh, too many. The Star. You know, chronologically in the tarot, the Star comes after the Tower, which usually represents some big, potentially life-changing event, which comes in and completely changes something because it ends something. Can be sometimes a very difficult card. And the card after that is the Star, which is the card of recovery from whatever the Tower is. Restored and renewed hope and faith, trusting in the path that you're on, even if you can't really see where it's going. It's a card of walking in faith that you're going to reach your wish fulfillment, whatever that is, because this is one of the cards of wish fulfillment. But it's wish fulfillment, meaning joy and having what you want on a path which requires you're dedicating yourself to walking that path, doing whatever you need to do that's in front of you on that path in faith. Like if it's a card of reconciliation, it's throwing yourself into that wholeheartedly and trusting that that's going to take you where you want to be. So it's about, so fundamentally what that means for the majority of you, Aries, is that whatever decision that you've made to leave, fill in the blank, whatever this is, behind, and it feels like a pattern of some kind. Whether it's a pattern of you doing things or you making choices or you being in situations that just ultimately don't end up working for you, Spirit is saying you're making the right decision here. Whatever you're leaving behind, you're making absolutely the right decision. So do everything that's in front of you to do, and Spirit kind of cradles you and meets and matches you with the rest of it. So again, it's kind of got one of those New Year's resolutions sort of feels to it. Kind of a determined sort of feeling. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to go through this again, so I'm going to change XYZ. So Aries, that is your reading for the first half of January 2021. I hope you enjoyed it, or at the very least found it useful in some way. Again, if you are interested in reaching out for a personal reading, particularly if any of these readings resonate with you, you can click on the description link below, email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to hear from you and to work with you, or if you're looking for a reading as a gift for anyone else as well. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well, take care, have a wonderful New Year's, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.